Furthermore, in some species, the exoskeleton is armed with spikes and spines, therefore, most of the predatory species prefer to avoid them. These include lizards like the Texas horned lizard, thorny dragon, armadillo lizard, etc., as well as crustaceans like the spiny lobster. In case of lizards, their spikes don't just threaten the predatory species, but also facilitate water retention and help them survive the harsh conditions of their native habitat. Among mammals, hedgehogs, spiny anteaters, and porcupines are best known for their spiny armor-like skin, which helps them survive predation. When threatened, hedgehogs and spiny anteaters curl into a spiny ball to evade the predator. The porcupine, on the other hand, goes on the offensive and launches a scathing attack on the predator using its spines or quills. Like porcupines, even sea urchins use their spiny bristles, which are known to be toxic, to survive their predators in the sea. If any armored mammal is more famous than the hedgehog or porcupine, it's the armadillo. Native to South America, the animal has its entire body covered with bony plates, which makes it appear as if it is really wearing an armor. It is because of this that the species is called the armadillo, which is Spanish for the little armored one. While most of the armadillo species flee into thick foliage when attacked, the three-banded armadillo rolls itself into a ball and survives predation. Interestingly, an animal with striking resemblance to the armadillo, the pangolin, is found in Africa and Asia. Like the three-banded armadillo, all the extant species of pangolin roll into a ball when they are threatened by a predator. In case of crocodiles, the exoskeleton is made of horny scales with bony scutes beneath. Even their jaws are heavily armored, yet they are known to be as sensitive as the human fingers. On the other hand, rhinos may not have a shell, scales, or scutes, but they do have a thick skin that is nothing short of an armor. In fact, the segmented skin of the Indian rhino comes as close to an actual armor as possible. Armed with protective covering, one might think that the armored animals are safe from their predators, but that is not the case. Like their prey, even predators have evolved over the course of time. If the animals we mentioned here have developed a protective covering as a part of their evolution, then the predators have developed teeth, claws, and altered their behavior as a part of theirs. Some birds, for instance, have mastered the art of taking on shelled animals like turtles. They simply grab them in their beak, take them high in the air, and throw them on the rocks below, splitting their carapace open. While armor-like skin, protective coloration, mimicry, speed, and agility, herd behavior, etc. have helped the species survive predation by other members of the animal kingdom. None of these seem to be of much use when it comes to human onslaught. Will these animals ever evolve to survive human? They will have to, because survival in the end is all about evolving. Tiny zebrafish. The tiny zebrafish can regenerate not only their fins but their heart as well. However, they do not regenerate heart muscles from stem cells. Instead, their mature heart muscles return to a stem cell-like state and generate new heart muscles. Zebrafish larvae can regenerate their brain as well. Zebrafish can also regenerate damaged photoreceptor cells and retinal neurons after an injury. In a study conducted by Australian scientists in 2012, it was observed that zebrafish possess a special protein known as fibroblast growth factor. This specialized protein ensures the healing of their spinal cord after an injury without the formation of glial scar. The zebrafish is considered a better model for scientific research than commonly studied invertebrates like worms and insects. This preference is mainly due to the fact that the zebrafish is a vertebrate and therefore more likely to have biological traits similar to humans. Zebrafish can survive in different environments. They can be kept together in large numbers and can be easily bred. The embryonic development in zebrafish resembles the embryogenesis in higher vertebrates, including humans. This is the reason why zebrafish have become a very popular and convenient research model for genetic and developmental studies. Scientists consider them as an ideal tool for conducting research on certain human congenital and genetic diseases as well.